So now, after all that rigmarole, I finally got control of a Microsoft server here in Azure Cloud. And so the project I want to show you is the one I went through in hand waving last time, and now I can actually do it, which is setting up your DNS server on Windows, which is pretty easy, but you really need Windows Server, and you cannot run Windows Server on ARM processors. They don't make it, although I should mention, for students with a Mac, I did do it and write it up putting Windows Server on a Mac M1. You can do it, but it runs really, really slow because it's emulating an x86 processor, so it's very painful. You'll have a lot more fun using Azure. But it is possible. I did it, but it's not any fun. So let's just set up the DNS server on Windows. And so here we want Wireshark, and let's look up first. So I'm going to take these instructions and move them to my other screen so I can refer to them while demonstrating it. So this is project D2. And here's my server. Okay, so my server should be in Opera. There it is. There's my server. Okay, so first I want to put on Wireshark so we can watch DNS requests. So I'll just get that, Wireshark. All right, download Wireshark. Windows Intel, that's correct. There it is, nice and fast in the Azure cloud. Is it ready? Oh, there we go. There's the Wireshark installer. Okay, I install. Next. Just all the defaults. Okay, there is installing something. Let me see. Okay, that's pretty good. All right. See, I'm not quite getting all of this window in the projection, in the streaming, so I should be able to adjust that here. There we go. There, now we get the whole desktop there. So this is, I agree. Doesn't seem to be listening to me. Nonprofit tab. That's disturbing. Now I'm getting no response. All right, I wonder if something's happened to my internet connection. That's my, connect open failed, channel 54, but this seems like still running. Let's see if I can ping something. I can, okay. Well, my Chrome remote desktop though, maybe it moved. Downloading Wireshark seems to have happened. This installer, I guess it was going, okay, I know I hit install for this thing. Okay, it's going, just something froze up on me. When you're using these remote control graphic things, that's really common. VNC is even worse. Microsoft Remote Desktop is better than most, and I'm not so sure what to think about Chrome, but it did freeze up on me there for a minute. Completed, there's next, okay. Okay. Like most open source products, it has to go through multiple rounds of installation. It installs Wireshark and then it installs some support software. This is very common. And I think it's done, but I think it hasn't sent the graphics to me yet, is what's going on here. Yep. There we are. All right. So that was the first thing, was Wireshark. Okay, now let's try normal DNS. So I'm just going to use command prompt here. All right, and to make for the video, and also for me in this room, I can't see that very well. I'm going to make it bigger. Properties. Font. Okay, let's see how that looks. There, that's better. All right, now I can do NS lookup of ccsf.edu. Okay, this is a normal lookup. This is a non-authoritative answer. It just tried whatever Azure's default DNS server is, which is a recursive resolver that went and asked somebody else, and somebody had this in their cache somewhere, and we have a non-authoritative answer. All right, that's what you typically work with at home. Now here, I'm going to do ipconfig and find my address. Now here, you've got a little complication because I'm using Azure. But normally you have to have a fixed static address to make a DNS server. Now, because I'm on Azure, I think I'm not going to try changing the DNS address. We'll see if I can do it without this, because I'm reluctant to change the network settings. I think I might lose control of the machine. All right, but anyway, oh, I see. I do need to change the DNS resolver, so I guess I'm going to try it. We'll see if this kills my Azure machine. Let me make a note of these numbers on my text editor. All right. So it's going to be 10.8.0.4, and 10.8.0.1. If I can get this to go to the right window. All right, there we are. 10.8, okay, those are my addresses. I'm going to try and configure them statically. I might lose control of my machine. There's one way to find out. So I go down here and search for Ethernet. And there's my Ethernet settings, because I need to set manual IP addresses here, manual DNS server. So that's, this is the one that's connected, called network, okay. And what is this garbage? Edit IP settings, edit DNS settings. Nah, cancel. All right, I'm not getting to the right place. Let me try my instructions. Microsoft keeps adding new handles to hide the old ones that work. Ethernet settings used to have change adapter options in it. Let's see if I can get it to work. Ethernet settings. They're constantly taking important stuff and renaming it and changing it so you can't find it. It's Microsoft for you. Okay. Change adapter options. There it is. All right. Is this change adapter options? There it is. That's the old thing where you change your adapter options, finally. All right, now I can go to TCP/IP version 4. Okay, now I can do this manually, and so I may destroy my machine, but we're going to find out. All right, so 10.8.04. All right, I'm trying to get to Opera, and somehow I'm not succeeding. Where's Opera? Down here. Okay, 10.8.04. Okay, 10.8.04. All right. And 255, 255, 2550, and 10.8.01. And here's the important part, 127.0.0.1. This is going to tell it that I am a DNS server. Don't go looking for DNS somewhere else. Look on this machine. So we'll see what this does. Good. It didn't freeze up on me. I think I succeeded in doing that without losing control of my machine, which is always a risk on a cloud server when you go changing the network settings. So let me get my instructions over here. All right. So now what I want to do is try to look up ccsf.edu again. So let's do another NS lookup of ccsf.edu. And now it's trying to ask my own server at 127.0.0.1, and that is going to fail because I told it that I am a DNS server, but I'm not a DNS server, not yet. That's why it can't find anything, no response from the server. So this is as expected. Now we have to make it a server. So we need Server Manager, which is still open, I think. Nope, that's Chrome Remote Desktop. All right, let's open it, click Start, and Server Manager should be the first item. There we go. All right, and now you go to Dashboard, and now Add Roles and Features. There we go. All right, and it's next, role-based, next. Okay, so next here, role-based or feature-based, next. And select destination server. There's only one server, so next. And then select server roles, and here we have DNS server. It's going to tell me the pieces of DNS server. I'll just say add features, and that's it. Now I think it's just next, next, finish, this sort of thing. And that is install. Okay. Now it's going to install Microsoft's venerable DNS server on this thing, and it will take a couple minutes to do it. And by the way, you could use any version of Windows, all the way back to Windows 2000 Server, and I think even Windows NT Server, although it won't have this thing called Server Manager. But the DNS product is still the same as it has been for decades. There it goes. Now I might have to restart after this. Let's see. Nope. Nope, it'll just work after this. That's nice. So it might be done. Let's see. It says feature installation succeeded. Okay. So theoretically it's done. Theoretically I'm now a DNS server. Let's see if it works. Get rid of Server Manager. And let's go back to the command line, and let's just try that resolve again. And now it's timed out. It's trying to do something, and it timed out again, but this is good. Instead of just not finding it, it tried to do something and it didn't work. Let's just try it again. Yep, it just needed more time. Now it finished and found an address for City College. So it did work, and now we can watch it happen in Wireshark. If we run Wireshark and monitor DNS packets, so first we have to sniff on the connection that goes somewhere, which is not incredibly obvious. It's usually the one at the top. Oh, there we are. See that? This thing here, that's loopback. There's Ethernet right at the top. The one that shows the traffic is the one you want to sniff on. So it's Ethernet. I double click on that. Now it's sniffing for traffic, and there's a lot of traffic going by because it's my remote control traffic. And now I'm going to filter for DNS and press enter. Now it'll only show me DNS packets, and over here there is some DNS traffic anyway, and I'd like to see more of it if I can make the window get wider. There we go. And this is DigiCert and stuff. Okay, there's some kind of network traffic going on. I'm going to try and get rid of that old stuff with capture, restart, continue without saving. Okay, now it's quieted down. There's no DNS traffic. Now I want to resolve a domain, and I'll try to get one that I didn't resolve previously so it's not in the cache. So I'll do NSLOOKUP of yahoo.com. And there it goes. It's asking other people where Yahoo is, and there it is all going by. Now I can stop this, and now I can see what it did. It went to look for yahoo.com up here at 192.35.51.30, and then it tried a whole bunch of other servers. And this, when I first did this, I was quite surprised because I didn't tell it any valid DNS server addresses anywhere. The only DNS server I told it was 127.0.0.1, but it knows the root of DNS. It's built into the server product. So you'll find it in the root hints, and now you can see it in the DNS manager. So if you just search for DNS here, there's DNS. This is the graphical manager to control your DNS server. And so there it is, and you see there's something called root hints. And there they are. These are the 13 root servers, and that's all your DNS server needs to know. the root servers will tell it where the top-level domains like .com and .net are, and they will tell it where companies like Yahoo are, and it figures it out by doing many queries of the internet. So a recursive resolver doesn't need to know anything other than those 13 addresses, and it can learn everything else by querying the internet, and that's what's going on here. And all right, and so there's a, let me just bring back the instructions. I think that's enough of the live demo to show you how it goes, and we talked about this before. Now you can try, do a reverse lookup and see how it goes, where it tries to resolve a local IP address here. In fact, I guess I'll try that. So let's go to my, let's go back to Wireshark. Let me get back to my server, which is back here somewhere. Is that my server? No, that seems like those are, all right, just a moment, somehow. There's my server. All right, so let's run Wireshark again and do a reverse DNS lookup. I'm gonna do a capture restart. Whoa, oh, capture start, okay. And then continue without saving. All right, and now I'm gonna do a reverse lookup, which is, I think, just DNS lookup on an IP address. So I have to get back to my server, which is here, back to the command line, which is here. Okay, so it's NS lookup. Now a stupid address, 192.168.1.1, which is a private address, and timed out, there it goes. Timing out, I have to do it again. And it's not getting, it had to do all these queries looking for that private address. This is the traffic I was talking about, this junk traffic. Yeah.
So is the file that contains the root servers a security vulnerability?
No, I don't think so. It's just built into the product. It's actually, I guess in principle, you could change the root hints and redirect it to the wrong DNS. I've never heard of anybody doing that. I suppose in principle you could. I guess in principle you could do that, but in order to change it, you'd have to hack into the server and get administrative privileges. So I guess it would be like a DNS changer attack. That would be a screwy one, to change the root hints on a server. I've never heard of that, but it would be pretty cool. And if you could poison the cache in the root server, that would be awesome. Well, I don't think they have caches. Anyway, it's a good point. Anyway, so that's what this is all that junk traffic I was talking about, asking stupid questions of the internet. And you can see it doing it, and you can configure your server to stop doing that. If I can get back to the instructions, which are here, and you'll see that you create an authoritative reverse lookup zone on your server. In here, reverse lookup zones, you create an authoritative reverse lookup zone. And I'll make the first one just so we can see it. So you go to reverse lookup zones, make a new one. Let me get there, which is here. Okay, so let's go to my DNS, which should be here. Nope. All right. DNS. All right. Now, here's reverse lookup zones, and I can create one. Action new zone. There we are. Now, primary is fine, IPv4 is fine. Okay, the network ID is going to be 192.168. That's the private address range. Next, 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 finish. Now it's authoritative for 192.168. Now this fixes this problem. If I restart the capture, restart, continue without saving, and now I do this stupid query again, but just to make sure I'm going to do 192.168.1.2, make sure I haven't done it before. Now I get an immediate answer, non-existent domain. It doesn't have to ask anybody because it's authoritative over it. It knows the answer, and the answer is there's no server there. This is what you should do. This is how you get rid of that junk traffic. This is the way Microsoft should have made their product configured by default, but for some ungodly reason, they didn't. So that's the game. You have to make a bunch of these to block all the private zones, and then you'll see that your reverse DNS lookups now no longer pollute the internet. So that's all I wanted to show you on that one. I'm going to stop this recording, and